to address that.
Jackie, I'm not going to answer hypotheticals based on some people here and this has happened.
Welcome to Cap Talk. I'm here with Whip Emmer, and it is your birthday, so happy birthday.
It is. Happy birthday to me.
How many years young are you?
I'm 65. I just completed my 65th year on this godforsaken planet.
Well, AARP is welcoming you, I guess.
Who?
Exactly. Regarding the war in Iran, the president originally said that we would be taking action on sort of behalf of the Iranian people. Now it's really changed. It's missiles, the nuclear program, proxies, naval ships. When the justifications keep changing, how can the American people trust that we're taking these actions justifiably?
Well, I actually don't agree that they're changing. I think this president is very clear when he talks about how this brutal regime murdered tens of thousands of their own people who were protesting the leadership and their failings. Right now, the president is just following through on a promise he made during the campaign, which is peace through strength. Ultimately, what the president said is that this imminent threat, which has been growing for the last 50 years, is not going to be allowed to grow anymore and put Americans and American lives at risk.
There is going to be a war powers resolution vote this week. Do you think it will pass?
Absolutely not. No, I think President Trump is going to get a lot of support, and he should have unanimous support from both sides of the aisle. I just wish everyone in Congress would start to put the American people first.
Now, if a Democratic administration were taking these same steps, would you be singing the same tune?
Oh, the problem is the Democrats would not take the same step. Do you realize there were more Democrats screaming about the removal of Maduro in Venezuela than there were Venezuelans? If it were the Democrats of my grandfather, yeah, absolutely I would.
But today's Democrats, not so much.
These Democrats are Marxists for the most part, and they are not America first.
Right.
Jackie, I raised 7 kids. For years, I used to carry one in a backpack, one in a papoose thing in the front, and one in each arm. So
that is impressive. Now, I heard 6 are boys, 1's a girl.
Yeah, she's the best.
I was going to say, I feel like I know who's the favorite. In terms of DHS, we are in a partial government shutdown. What's it going to take for it to come to an end?
Democrats have to put the country first. And quite frankly, they have to look at that filibuster that is ridiculous at this point. There are 7 Democrats who are going to stand in the way of the America First agenda that 77 million Americans voted for.
In terms of ICE, though, should some changes be made? Because mistakes are being made, right? There have been U.S. citizens who have been taken. There has been a fair amount of, some violent action, I should say, against people who are in fact U.S. citizens or just people. And so, should some changes be made to address that?
Jackie, I'm not going to answer hypotheticals based on some people here and this has happened. Any loss of life, whether you think they were in the right place at the right time or doing the wrong thing for the wrong reasons, it doesn't matter. Any loss of life is tragic. And every time you have an incident, you should be reevaluating and evaluating performance. There's nothing wrong with that.
So there is some wiggle room in terms of some analysis that could be made or some actions taken to make things safer, not just for people in our society, but also for the officers, so that everyone is safer.
I'll tell you what would make people safer: cooperation. I mean, this never used to be.
So I hear you love hockey, and love might be an understatement.
Hockey is life, Jackie.
Well, speaking of, what about hockey is life?
Everything you need to know you can learn in a hockey locker room. Humility, how you treat others, how you expect to be treated, and then you compete at the highest possible level. It's a physical sport. I think a great example that people will tell you is you can have a hockey game where 2 guys actually start throwing punches at each other. Mm-hmm. And after the game, you'll find them in a local bar having a beer together and having fun.
Have you watched Heated Rivalry?
No.
There have been a lot of retirements announced, 31 so far, according to the Associated Press. How do you think the Republicans are going to do in the midterms?
Oh, I think we're going to hold the majority in the House.
You do?
Oh, yeah. I think the big risk when you have retirements is, are they in swing seats or are they in safe Republican seats? And in our case, I think you could argue that maybe one is in a swing seat.
Okay. So you think you're just going to defy history?
Well, history, it's what people want to claim it is.
Got it.
Yeah.
What is the GOP doing best right now?
What are we doing best? I mean, look, we passed a bill that people said we would never be able to pass. That permanent tax policy, I think starting to get back to a common sense approach in life.
And where does the GOP need to improve to listen to voters more?
To listen to voters. I think we are listening to the voters. I think that's how we became the majority in the House and the Senate, and that's how President Trump got elected. I mean, you've
But
got...
is there anything you could do better, I would say?
You can always do better.
How did you know your wife was the one?
Oh, I knew right away. I had love at first sight.
I'll ask
It was
it
love
again.
at first sight for me. It took her a little while longer, but we worked it out.
How long did it take her?
I don't know. You'd have to ask her. She's never told me.
Okay, well now I've given
She
you
said yes.
Minnesota fraud. I know that's a big issue for you. How do you think this gets resolved?
You got that much money going out of your government? Somebody knows. Somebody is either complicit or they were grossly negligent, and that needs to be identified. So, how do you solve it? Well, first you got to get rid of Tim Walz. He's a pathetic excuse for a leader. You got to hold.
Tell me how you really feel. Any other issues that you feel particularly passionate about?
I love this country, and I love the fact that Donald Trump puts the country before anything else. And I know everybody wants to constantly be critical of the president, that they don't like him. But I tell you what, the vast majority of this country does like him, and more importantly, they love what he's doing.
You mentioned, most of this country does love what he's doing, but the polling suggests otherwise. So how do you, sort of juggle those two things?
Well, you haven't been around me much.
No, but
Polling's kind of a joke if you think about it.
Okay.
It's really interesting. I can find a poll to say whatever I want it to say, and you can find one that says whatever you want it to say.
Thank you.
Have I been shaking this thing all over the place?
It's been great.
Look
and,
at you, and you're so steady.
It's
It must be age. You're so young, you're vibrant,
You're 65. Uh-oh. There you go. Well, I will let you go continue to whip
Celebrate.
those votes
Go
and
celebrate.
your birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday again. Thank
Thank you,
you so
Jackie.
much, and thank you for joining Cap Talk.
Thank you.